Okay, Dan. Sorry it took so long to do this, but oh yeah. So let's talk about havening for just a second. There are really two kinds of havening. One is kind of the standard havening. They call it event havening, and there's some different variations under that, and that's the kind that I use with clients. It is the havening touch, as well as linguistic tools to help reset the cells in the brain. What we found is that when an event occurs that's going to cause trauma, long term trauma, anxiety, so like PTSD, anxiety, anger issues, and the like, somatic pain, that when there are certain conditions met, the cells in the amygdala, clusters of cells in the amygdala, get wedged open by a molecule. And so now those cells are wedged open to the trauma. They don't close. Havening releases delta waves in the brain, which send through a different chemical, which eat away at the other molecules and allow the cells to close back up. That fixes the trauma association, and we reassociate those cells in the brain, but it's a good opportunity to kind of retrain yourself after that. So you may not have the memory of the trauma, or it may seem far away or distant or just not affecting you, but you still want to work on yourself. It's not like, all of a sudden there's sunny days and rainbows, but it does get rid of the trauma connection, the emotional connection. Now, the other approach is self-havening, which is the havening touch, and that releases dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin. So that gives you this rush of good chemicals. So if you're feeling low, if you're feeling bad, you're feeling angry, you're feeling the results of your trauma or whatever it is, you start doing this self-havening, and after 4 or 5 minutes, you should start getting relief. Actually, you start getting relief sooner, but 4 or 5 minutes is a good length of time. If you can do it longer, it's even better. Really, the zone is really about 12 to 15 minutes. After that, the havening doesn't do much except reinforce what you're doing, but you're going to get the maximum results in 12 to 15 minutes. So, but 4 or 5 minutes will be fine because it'll release that. But it also builds new neural networks in your brain. So every time you have to learn something new, you're challenged with something, you're doing Sudoku, whatever it is, you are creating new synaptic connections. Your brain is being challenged. This self-havening actually does the same thing because it's opening those cells to new associations, which is what we do once we eradicate the trauma. But now, since we're not eradicating the trauma, we're just building new neural connections, new synaptic connections. So now those get stronger. So you're going to want to use affirmations with your self-havening. And the affirmations can be, I'm calm, I am safe, I am whole every day in every way, I'm healing, I'm feeling better and better. We want to avoid using the words not, no, none. I'm not feeling bad, I'm never going to get angry, because the brain doesn't really pick up and understand negatives. So you're just reinforcing, I am going to get mad, I am going to be angry. And so we want to avoid that. We also want to make sure we keep them in the here and now, in the present. So we don't want to use like, I will feel better. I will be calmer, because that's always setting ourselves up to something that isn't there. So we want to, I am feeling calmer. I am feeling better. Now, if you don't feel that comfortable of saying that, you can say, what if I feel better? What if I feel more calm? What if I feel in control? So just throw a what if in front of it, and you're going to get the same kind of results. But most people are not going to have a problem saying what if, and you're going to get the same results, because the root of what we are telling ourselves are releasing the right chemicals in the brain, and that should help. I recommend doing havening daily. When you wake up in the morning before you go to bed, do about 5 minutes of havening, and that'll help set the day up. It'll help start to shift those paradigms. It's not an overnight thing. I've had clients just come back to me, text me the next day and say, it didn't work. Well, this is a practice like meditation that you want to build on. So it becomes part of your routine. And you want to do that self-havening, especially when you get angry, especially when you're feeling low, especially when you're feeling upset, because that's going to help release the right chemicals in the brain. Your brain's already releasing the shitty chemicals. Let's get them releasing the right chemicals. Okay? So I'm going to show you the havening touch. It is not hard at all, unless you have arms like a T-Rex, and then you're going to have a lot of problems. But if you have regular human arms, it's not going to be hard at all. The first is the face washing technique, and you're rubbing with the pads of your fingers, starting from the center of your brow and kind of following the curves of your eyebrows. Nice and soothing. It could be as heavy as you like. It could be light, right? And then following the cheekbones and down. Cheekbones and down. Over the eyebrows and down. Cheekbones and down. I will oftentimes do a full face. I kind of look like a St. Bernard when I do that, don't I? Yeah, sort of. Okay, so also I'll hit, both the cheeks and above. I am calm. I am patient. I am at ease. I am in control of my emotions. I am content. I am motivated to feel better. Every day in every way, I'm feeling stronger and stronger. Now, I might also visualize that in my mind. I might also walk myself through a scenario where I have behaved poorly or something has made me feel bad in the past, and I may walk through that, except changing things up. In your mind, you can make it whatever you want. So you can change that up. So I might think of a time where I said something really mean to Leslie and we got into a big fight, and then I will go through and I will change those, I'll change the dialogue in my mind. And so I'm rewriting that. Okay, so that's the first part, the face washing. The second, I got to kind of lean you up here. You put arm on the shoulder, hand on the shoulder, hand on the shoulder. We're going to rub down to the elbows. Bring the hands back up, rub down to the elbows. So it is a constant downward motion. And you'll do the same thing. I am patient. I am kind to myself and to others. I love myself. I am patient with myself. I allow myself to make mistakes. I do not own other people's anger. Let's see, what else can I say instead of I do not own? Oh, I know. I own my own behaviors. I avoid owning other people's behaviors. I'm strong and getting stronger every day. I am patient and I love myself and I love Dan, because why not? All right, so that is the arm rubbing technique. And the last technique is rubbing your hands. The nice thing about the hand rubbing is you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your car. You can do it when you're waiting in line at the bank. You can do it to keep the manager at Jimmy Dean Sandwiches from getting his ass whooped by you. I don't know anybody who's done that. It was not a good day. We found out that my mom had been swindled out of $750,000. We didn't even know my mom had $750,000. She'd gotten an inheritance and got swindled out of it. I was not happy. This manager, Jimmy Johns, was not being very nice. And you know me, I'm patient, but let's just say I turned around. I said, I will avoid fucking this guy up. I will avoid punching this man in the nostril. I just rubbed my hand so it wasn't too obvious, but that way you could do it anywhere. If you want help with your affirmations, or if you know anybody else that is going to use this and they want some help with affirmations, write them down, email them to me or text them to me, and I'll give you my thoughts. And I may give you some suggestions if you're telling me kind of what sort of issues you're dealing with. Now, understand this is not the kind of havening that will eradicate the trauma, but this will help create a new neural network in your brain, hardwiring those affirmations you made. So anything that is positive, any outcomes that you want to exhibit, that you want to have, then, do it with the havening. And you can do it with your performances too. My performances are strong. I love being a goofy mime on stage. I love entertaining people. My nerves will be calm, and I will give the best performance that I can. As we release that dopamine and that serotonin, it's going to feel much better. And something else that I'll do, I'll send you a video of it, are power poses, and those also release cortisol, which stresses you out and blows your blood pressure out of the water, and it releases the feel-good hormones as well as testosterone. And so the testosterone helps build your confidence and your resolve. All right, brother. Hopefully this will help you start doing it. It feels good. If it doesn't feel good, then do it firmer or lighter. This is a form of communication that we've overlooked, since we were babies. I mean, let's face it, that's how you communicate with babies when they're first born. You hold them, you coddle them, you stroke them. And especially in the deaf community, right? There's a lot of touch-based communication. But of course, as we get older, we learn, don't touch people. Don't touch people. Don't touch me. Don't be affectionate. And I don't recommend you haven people without their permission, because I've gotten a few restraining orders that way. I'm just kidding. I've only gotten 3. That would be a few, wouldn't it? Shit. Okay. All right, brother. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. We'll do another, we'll meet up again this week. Bye.